Thanks so much for joining us today. It's so good to have you back on. Now, before we get into our episode today, why don't you take a couple moments to subscribe to my Substack? The goal is to have new newsletter editions every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We're currently on pause. We'll start eventually, I'm sure, and I think there is a lot to talk about. So stay tuned for that, but add your name to the email list so that you get my newsletter sent directly to your inbox. It's a great way to stay in touch with the show. And now another great way to stay in touch is to follow the show on Instagram at The Ishaan S Show. If you already follow the show, you might see that we started clipping the episodes and posting them on. I have a really fun time doing that and watching back the episode and finding stuff to post there. And it's a great way to also get attention for the show. So follow us on Instagram. You can stay in touch with the show that way. And you can find me on Instagram at real ishaansrivastava, as well as on Bluesky at ishaansrivastava.bsky.social. Alrighty, so it's so good to have you back on. Now look, we have all sorts of headlines that we could be talking about. So I'm going to tell you just some of the headlines that I wanted to talk about for this episode, but we're not going to do that today because there's a bigger one. But some topics we could have been talking about. One, Trump has nominated a 22-year-old recent college graduate to lead terrorism prevention. We have this funny fellow over here. He is now in charge of terrorism prevention in America. He's 22 years old, plucked him off from somewhere, and now he's doing that. We could be talking about the federal funding showdown between the state of California and Washington, D.C. Basically, Trump has proposed, they've talked about it, it's not been announced, but it's been reported from sources in the White House that Trump is proposing deep cuts to the state of California and in terms of its federal funding. And state leaders are pushing back because California has said in response that it would stop sending its tax money to the federal government. That's a huge thing to talk about. Here's another thing. This is a topic we've been covering here on the show for the past few months, which is the interns over at Doge and their access to crucial, private, sensitive Social Security data. Well, the Supreme Court just ruled recently that Doge interns can now access sensitive Social Security data. Congratulations, America. So we could be talking about all of those topics. But of course, the reason I'm sure all of you are here and that the whole world has heard about by now is the very public spat between Donald Trump and now former First Buddy and his top campaign donor, Elon Musk. Love story for the ages has come to an end. Basically, we'll walk through the timeline, but long story short, seismic developments in that relationship, they were just hanging out last week. Last week, Friday, Donald Trump gave Elon Musk a key to the White House, like ceremonial key to the White House, and Trump was saying that he'll come back and blah, blah, blah. Like literally watch this clip. It's from less than 10 days ago. Look at this.
Elon's really not leaving. He's going to be back and forth, I think. I have a feeling. It's his baby, and I think he's going to be doing a lot of things. But Elon's service to America has been without comparison in modern history.
So you see the love, the bromance between these two individuals, but all of a sudden, things just devolved in this relationship. It ended, like something happened. I'm going to read you a quick timeline. We got this from the Washington Post. They made a really nice timeline of everything. So I'm going to read you the timeline. All right, so Tuesday of this week, Musk attacked Trump's big, beautiful bill. So basically what happened was Elon Musk had been privately pushing back against Trump's big, beautiful bill. We've called it the big, ugly bill here on the show. And you might have seen our episode on Wednesday. I did actually touch on this. Elon Musk was really upset about the bill. He said in a tweet, quote, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." So that was the first shot that was fired. Elon Musk was absolutely just devastated by the big, beautiful bill. We'll talk about why that's just stupid, to be honest, in a moment, but just know that that's what happened. So that happened on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, Elon Musk continued the attacks and he called for a new spending bill. He said that there should be a new spending bill that doesn't massively grow the deficit or increase the debt ceiling by $5 trillion. Because as we talked about on the episode on Wednesday, part of the problem with the big ugly bill is that Republicans are now ballooning our deficits. So actually folks like Elon Musk can get a massive tax cut. All the while we have to, middle class normal people have to deal with healthcare cuts and food benefit cuts and cuts to education. Like that's what we're talking about. Now Elon Musk is a little upset that we didn't cut enough to fund his tax cuts. On the other side, there are folks who are upset that there's too much being cut. Anyway, Elon Musk called for a new spending bill that did even more cuts. Then later on Wednesday, Elon Musk insisted that people call their senator, call their congressman, and saying bankrupting America is not okay. He said, kill the bill. That became a pretty prominent cry for Musk and his very limited number of allies. Then Thursday is when gloves came off. So on Thursday, Musk started to retweet Trump's old tweets from many, many years ago. And it was things like Trump criticizing Republicans for raising the debt ceiling, and Musk commented, wise words. Then he said, I couldn't agree more. There were examples of these types of tweets. Then Thursday at noon, after a long hibernation, Trump had been away from the public for a long few days. It was actually the longest in his presidency so far in the second term, that he had not had any public-facing events or any public things. Trump finally broke his silence from the Oval Office in a meeting with the German chancellor. I don't know if he expected that. German chancellor also probably was annoyed with Elon because Elon was trying to interfere in their election. But Trump made a comment and he says, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. It's pretty big. Trump kind of outwardly just said, maybe we may not have the best relationship anymore. Then Trump said that Elon was actually upset about cuts to EV subsidies and the president's decision to pull a NASA nomination. Remember NASA? Elon Musk had a huge say in who, we covered it on the show a long time ago, but Elon Musk had a huge say in who was going to be the NASA administrator. So the Trump administration actually pulled that nomination. But I think what Elon Musk was more upset about, and I think Trump pointed this out, was the cuts to the EV subsidies. Those were big, big cuts in the big ugly bill. And I say the EV cuts are huge because, I mean, I know people that bought some really old, crappy electric vehicles, but those subsidies passed under the Biden administration provided so many rebates for people to actually be able to purchase these very expensive vehicles. And I think Elon Musk was definitely benefiting from that. So Trump claims that Elon Musk probably got really upset over the fact that his big ugly bill cut EV subsidies. Then Musk said, slim beautiful bill. That's what he called the big beautiful bill the slim beautiful bill after that. Then Musk did say that the EV incentives, the cuts to the EV incentives can stay. Musk says that. He kind of, in the most high school mean girl fashion possible, says, whatever. Whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. So Elon Musk was, I think we've kind of gotten to, I think Trump identified correctly the problem for Elon Musk, which was those cuts to the EV incentives, because obviously then his company Tesla, which is already pretty much struggling because of Elon Musk's own inability to be liked, would struggle even more. Then Trump said Elon knew the inner workings of the bill. Elon knew exactly what was going on, better than almost anybody sitting here. Trump says that. Then Musk shot back in denial. He said, false. This bill was never shown to me, even once, and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. So the criticisms that even I was saying about the big ugly bill, Elon Musk was pretty much saying that. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like Elon Musk did not believe in a single thing he was doing. I don't know. Then Musk continued to tweet, quote, old Trump tweets. Then Elon Musk renamed the Slim Beautiful bill into the Big Ugly bill. He kind of took a page out of our book here. But yeah, he started calling it the Big Ugly bill. He said the Big Ugly bill will increase the deficit to 2.5 trillion. Almost like everyone in the world was saying that. Then Elon Musk asked his followers if there should be a new political party. Posted a poll on Twitter. He said, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Then Trump threatened Musk's companies. Trump said in multiple posts on Truth Social, sending a warning to Musk saying Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. So now Trump is threatening to take away Elon Musk's many electric vehicle subsidies. That directly threatens Elon's net worth. And more than anything else, that was probably what ticked off Elon at the end. Mr. Trump basically went at the heart of the problem, like below the belt type of hit. Then Musk alleged that then this took a really interesting turn. So after Trump made the threat to Elon's personal net worth, Musk then made the really big allegation that Trump was in the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein, I'm sure you know the whole thing about that. So Elon Musk says, time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. So you might know, for many folks on the right, there are all these conspiracy theories surrounding the whole Epstein case that a lot of people on the right have made so many countless conspiracy theories about. And so one of the big things that Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi promised was that they would release the Epstein files for everyone to see. They haven't done that, and they've faced a lot of criticism even from the right for doing that, because I guess on the MAGA right, extremists, this is one of the really big issues for them. Anyway, Elon then made that allegation, and then he posted a clip of Trump with Epstein from an MSNBC clip that was from many years ago. So Trump made that comment about his net worth, then Elon Musk made this comment. Pretty nasty fighting at this point online, pretty much like high schoolers. Then Trump defended his bill. He said, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Make America great again. Then Musk threatened to decommission the spacecraft that travels to the International Space Station. It's a big project, so Musk said, in light of the president's recent statement about the cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Then Musk appeared. This one's even crazier. Then Musk appeared to essentially endorse the impeachment and removal of President Trump in favor of Vice President J.D. Vance becoming president. It's just so funny. He basically, it was somebody else wrote the tweet, and then Elon Musk said yes. And I know somewhere in there, there's also something about how Elon Musk said that we will probably be in a recession by the end of this year because of the Trump tariffs. Somewhere in there. I don't think it was in the timeline from the Washington Post. Then, so this leads us, I think, until the end of Thursday. Since Thursday, there have been new reports that have come out about this whole spat. So Trump has since said that Musk will face serious consequences if he funds Democrats. So there was, I guess, some discussion out there that Democrats tried to court Elon Musk for his money. He writes him a nice fat $500 million check. Trump said that Musk will face serious consequences. Musk, apparently, reportedly, had a physical altercation with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. You might remember that there was this report some time ago that Elon Musk and Secretary Bessent had this screaming match. And basically, Secretary Bessent was like, you were going to cut $1 trillion with your stupid program Doge. You've only cut 100 billion. What's going on? And apparently that shouting match might have actually been an altercation, a physical kind, where Elon Musk shoved the Secretary of the Treasury. Then Trump called Elon Musk a big-time addict, big-time drug addict. You know, there was this report in the New York Times about Elon Musk's drug consumption. You can go see the New York Times post about that. And then in true mean girl fashion, Trump just said in an interview that he's busy with more important things than talking to Musk. in the truest mean girl fashion. So that's the timeline. That is the breakup that has rocked America this week. So there's a lot to unpack with this whole public spat that I don't know how much, maybe like 15 minutes I just spent breaking down. There's a lot to unpack there. It's when you put two people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, two men with incredibly large egos, they are bound to one day like clash. Worlds will collide. But I don't think anybody kind of expected this relationship to devolve as quickly or as suddenly as they did. And who knows what might have started this? Maybe it was Scott Bessent getting shoved, or maybe it was the EV incentives. I don't know what it might have been. But it's crazy to think that this bromance, you know, Elon Musk literally tweeted that thing, I love Donald Trump as much as any straight man possibly could love another man. He literally posted that. He went from that to insinuating that not even insinuating, claiming that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files. Like, such a devolvement of this relationship. Mind you, not even 10 days ago, was in the White House with Donald Trump for this farewell press conference where Donald Trump gifted him a key to the White House. It's insane just how much they might have devolved. But it's not a surprise. When I think about it now, it's not a surprise that they ended up not being friends anymore, because they're just two men with large egos, incredibly large egos. One guy's the richest, one's the most powerful. The worlds are going to collide. No one would have expected them to last very long, and I don't think anyone really expected them to last even in the next month. But it's just the way this has devolved that has become such a big story. And it's the way Elon Musk has been throwing dirt at Donald Trump that I think has excited everyone. Like, oh my God, the girls are fighting, as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said. Take a look at that comment.
Musk and President Trump on Twitter right now.
Oh man, the girls are fighting, aren't they?
The girls are fighting. So this high-profile rift between the president and his top campaign donor have raised questions about the MAGA movement. Like, what happens now? Who's going to get who in this divorce? Like, what is going to happen? Because it's a big thing. Elon Musk has levied a lot of big critiques of the big ugly bill in a way that I don't know we're gonna be able to pull back. Like, maybe Elon Musk and Trump become friends one day? I doubt it. But Elon Musk has said a lot of things that he just can't take back. And I think that's a problem for sometimes that's what happens in these fights. We say things that we can't take back, but we've said it, and now everyone's feelings are hurt. And I think between these two now ex-best friends, Elon Musk has said some things that have probably hurt the President Trump. I sound like I'm a kindergarten teacher talking about my students, but well, they're both honestly sometimes at that level. Anyway, so this is a huge, huge thing that has happened. And this relationship now devolving means that the collaboration that we saw between these two is effectively over. I don't know what happens to Doge now. I don't know what happens to all the cuts that Doge made. It's not like Doge was doing great. Doge sucked. Like, they didn't do a thing. They used to fake their numbers. They used to write the same number 3 times in terms of the cuts. It was basically a reign of terror on the federal government. And now we see like that the reign of terror, Elon's reign of terror, has come to an end. What happens now? Like, what happens to that whole project? Who knows what happens? We're still keeping an eye on it. And then, of course, Donald Trump's serious allegations that Trump or Musk had a big-time drug problem, or how there was this physical altercation between Musk and Scott Besson. I don't think the relationship comes back. So Republicans have been caught in the crossfire. Obviously, you know, what mom, dad, whatever you want to call them, are having an issue, and it's a big family problem for them, I guess. And so GOP lawmakers are caught in the middle of this whole spat because the big ugly bill, obviously, the way it's written right now is not going to succeed. It's not, because people have their concerns. There are folks like in the Elon Musk camp of thought that the bill doesn't make enough cuts. It doesn't make life hard enough for people. And then there are people on the other side who think that the cuts may be a little too much. Maybe the 11 million people being stripped of their Medicare benefits is not the smartest idea. So when we look at the big ugly bill, it's challenging to see where its path is in the form that it's written in right now. And obviously this whole breakup, divorce, is not going to help any of that. Republican leaders have a huge headache on their hands. And Trump has given a deadline for them to pass this bill by the 4th of July, which is, you know, time is ticking. And I don't think it's going to be easy for them to be able to pull something off like that. So in general, what we have seen is Republicans are more or less deferring to Donald Trump. In the way CNN has put it, no one has been moved by this whole public spat. Everyone that was opposed to the bill, Thomas Massey from Kentucky, is opposed to the bill, and everyone else is still in favor of it or has not said anything. Rand Paul is being floated as someone who might oppose the bill in the Senate, but he also was pretty much not going to do it anyway. Not going to pass it anyway before this whole thing. So this whole fight is basically just a Mean Girls petty fight that has changed absolutely nothing about the trajectory of the big ugly bill. But what it does mean is that now things have been said. This is going to balloon the deficit. This is going to do that. Musk on the right has now said that. It's been said in this space. It's like, I could have been saying that for a really long time, but I don't think it would have mattered to a lot of MAGA people. Some of you even watch the show, and I don't think, seem moved most of the time by the things I say when I say it like that. But when someone like Elon Musk says it, maybe some people will listen. But when it comes to deferring to Trump, Speaker Mike Johnson has said that Elon Musk is terribly wrong. This was after Elon Musk was not answering Mike Johnson's phone calls, which is hilarious. So high school. Then there are people in the Senate, like Senator Kevin Cramer, who said that Musk does not govern and isn't a major factor. Trump remains the boss. And there is still Rand Paul, who said he may not vote for the bill, but Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, he expressed some doubts, but It's like my interview with Joe Zabecki on Wednesday. We'll know it when we see it. We'll believe it when we see it. Maybe Ron Johnson might have some issues, but I think he's just going to fall in line. So there's another interesting question that has come up, which is about Democrats. How do Democrats deal with this whole issue? Obviously, Democrats are not having a great time. They're kind of going through it. They have really low approval ratings right now. Like, what is the path forward? There's some talk, like Representative Ro Khanna, who has tweeted that maybe Democrats should extend an olive branch to Elon Musk, that he cited RFK Jr. going to President Trump as an example, and why we should be courting Elon Musk. Then there are folks like there are other Democrats who are saying that we obviously should not. I think it's very simple when it comes to the issue of Democrats and this whole thing with Elon Musk. Let the other side devolve. Let the other side fight each other like crazy. Elon Musk has $280 million he spent in the 2024 election. I'm sure he can spend that type of amount again soon. Let them fight each other. This whole idea of embracing Elon Musk now that he's anti-Trump is probably the most flawed form of thinking I can imagine. And I think it's an example of the problem with leadership in the Democratic Party, because this whole idea of even entertaining that is just faulty. Democrats have spent the last 5 months lambasting Elon Musk, rightfully, for his reign of terror on the federal government, making mindless cuts to all sorts of programs, putting every American in fear, causing irreparable harm, accessing our sensitive data with Social Security, which the Supreme Court has just rubber stamped. It makes no sense for them to go court Elon Musk and ask for him to write you a check. It doesn't work. And I think Democrats in general are understanding that, but to the few thought leaders in the Democratic Party who are maybe thinking of the possibility of doing it, it's not worth it. It's unwise, and it's quite frankly just stupid politics. But that is, I think, a debate that might be going on in the Democratic Party. I don't know. When I talk to folks in Democratic politics, it doesn't seem like anybody's interested in entertaining it, but I thought it was worth mentioning that this is something going on. But like, let's go back to Elon Musk. Let's talk about the very emotional spat or meltdown that we want to call it. What a silly, silly thing. I mean, these two that were so tight, Elon Musk says that Trump is in the Epstein files. How dare he be in the Epstein files? But then you were the one who gave him $300 million. You were the one who supported him blindly, and you probably knew about this and just said something publicly. You were the one who did all of the things you did to our federal government. He's criticizing the tariffs, saying that it's going to plunge us into a recession. You're the one who blindly supported Donald Trump. You knew exactly. I mean, I think for once, Donald Trump is not necessarily at fault here. He has done everything he said he would do. Elon Musk is the one who blindly gave $300 million to Trump and got him in the White House. You know, Elon Musk claimed that Trump wouldn't have won the election without his money. I tend to believe that's probably a possibility, but that doesn't matter. You gave the money to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump did exactly what he said he would do. As damaging and as destructive as that is, he said he would do that. And so I think it's really rich coming from Elon Musk to be so critical of what is going on, to make all these allegations, and to say now that Donald Trump is incredibly destructive for the economy and blah, 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 even though Elon Musk supported him even until last Friday. Literally until last Friday. Like, that was the last time they were in public together. Trump, for his part, has interestingly stayed pretty quiet. I think other than the reports I just read to you, big time drug addict, like that's recent, like that just happened today. But throughout like the last 96 hours, he's been relatively quiet and calm, which is pretty uncharacteristic of him. But even Donald Trump, I think, is taking it a little bit to heart. Like, he sold his red Tesla. It's like when they break up and they give back like their sweaters and whatever and the clothes, and they have to do all that giving back of things. Trump sold his red Tesla that he bought from Elon Musk from Tesla. He might sell it, he might give it away. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there, but it's funny. And I think Trump is also taking this a little personally because it's a rough breakup, arguably a third divorce, if you want to call it that, because they were pretty close. And I think Elon Musk leaving the Trump orbit, I think it's just going to be a really silly episode in our politics because, again, other than maybe family members in the Trump family, Elon Musk had the most access to Donald Trump. Like, the most access. Not even, I think, Trump's own people had that type of access to him. And maybe Elon Musk thought that he gave hundreds of millions of dollars, bought Trump, and so Trump would do exactly what he wanted. And when the big ugly bill was not doing what Elon wanted, he had an emotional outrage. I think something to teach about, I think Elon should learn this about American politics. In American politics, you give your money to support a candidate because they stand for something, not necessarily that they're bought and paid for. Not to say that Donald Trump isn't influenced in that way, but I don't think Elon Musk correctly understood what spending his money meant. I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in this tweet right here said it pretty good. Said that you voted for this, you gave the money for this, don't whine about the cuts to the electric vehicles when you're the one that made it happen. And it's pretty clear, it's just simple, like that is just the truth. So Elon can cry all he wants, and Elon can go as crazy as he wants, and it seems like he is going a little wacko, but it doesn't matter. That relationship is now over, and probably for the foreseeable future is not going to get fixed. I think when President Trump goes around saying all these things and we get reports about the altercations between, I think when we get altercations between cabinet secretaries and Elon Musk, or when Elon Musk calls for the impeachment and removal of Donald Trump, or says that he couldn't have won the election without him, there's just no returning from that. The relationship is over, and it's hilarious. Alrighty, well, that's what we have for today. If you like my commentary, then please subscribe to the YouTube channel here so that you never miss a beat. And why don't you subscribe to my Substack? We'll get those newsletter editions coming in very soon. You can find the show on Instagram at The Ishaan S Show. You can find me on Instagram at Real Ishaan Srivastava. And you can find me on Bluesky at ishaansrivastava.bsky.social. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to keep making these episodes. We'll keep track of the chaos in this whole divorce. But until then, stay updated. Keep following us on Instagram and whatever. And I'll see you in the next one.